Gather round, legends. I'm the classic and retro gamer. Today, we're firing up the time machine and heading back to 1985, an era of neon, big hair, and unforgettable video games. We're spotlighting a true C64 classic, Monty on the Run. This wasn't just a game, it was a wild, pixel-packed adventure that had kids everywhere glued to their screens. Monty on the Run is pure 8-bit adrenaline, a plucky mole on the run from the law, dodging traps and outsmarting bizarre enemies. It defined what a platformer could be on the Commodore 64, tough, addictive, and endlessly replayable. Why revisit Monty today? Because some games are timeless, packed with great stories and legendary music. We'll break down what makes Monty on the Run a classic, the creators, the bonkers story, the iconic soundtrack, and why it's still a blast to play. So grab a snack, get comfy, and join me as we go on the run with gaming's most famous mole. Whether you're here for nostalgia or discovering Monty for the first time, you're in for a treat. We'll explore its clever design, secret codes, and lasting charm. Let's dive in. Monty on the Run awaits. Who made this masterpiece? Enter Gremlin Graphics, a British software house from Sheffield, UK, and true rock stars of the 8-bit era. Gremlin was a team of passionate creators, not just a faceless company, and their love for games shines through in Monty on the Run. Released in 1985, it was an instant hit. The mastermind behind it all? Peter Harrop, a coding wizard who took Monty Mole and cranked the adventure up to 11. Harrop and his team pushed the Commodore 64 to its limits, creating a sprawling, multi-screen world with detailed sprites and smooth animation. Remember, this was 1985. Ancient tech by today's standards, but they made magic happen. Gremlin's games had real personality, quirky, fun, and memorable. Monty on the Run blended challenging gameplay, a silly story, and top-notch presentation from the moment you loaded the cassette. They weren't just making software, they were crafting experiences that stuck with players for life. Monty on the Run is the perfect showcase of Gremlin's style and innovation. And with this game, they truly left their mark on gaming history. So, what's Monty's deal? Our hero, Monty Mole, has just busted out of Scudmore prison and is desperate to escape Britain for freedom in France. But it's not just a simple dash to the ferry. Britain is crawling with bizarre enemies and deadly traps. Monty needs to collect items to build his freedom kit, his ticket across the channel. The game is a sprawling maze of interconnected rooms, each a unique puzzle packed with peril. You'll dodge angry teapots, flying hammers, and all sorts of oddball hazards. The story unfolds through gameplay. Every screen is a new obstacle in Monty's frantic flight. The enemies are weird and wonderful, giving the game a surreal, cartoonish vibe. It's not just about reaching the end, it's about surviving, solving puzzles, and mastering tricky jumps. The journey is what matters. Each screen conquered is a small victory in Monty's wild escape. The simple premise is executed with charm and creativity, making Monty's story unforgettable. You feel the pressure, the stakes, and the thrill of the chase every step of the way. That's what makes Monty's adventure so memorable. Here's where Monty on the Run gets clever. Before you even start, you face the Freedom Program. You must pick 5 items from a list of 21, Monty's escape kit. But which 5? The game doesn't tell you. This pre-game puzzle adds mystery and replayability. Choose wrong and you'll fail at the finish line. It sparked endless playground debates, passport or gas mask. Everyone had theories. The secret? A coded message hidden in the cassette inlay revealed the correct items, if you could crack it. This metagame made the physical copy feel like a treasure map, adding a layer of fun beyond the screen. It was revolutionary. Most games were straightforward, but Monty made you strategize before you even pressed start. Every playthrough could be different, making the game endlessly replayable. It wasn't just about reflexes, it was about being clever and paying attention to details. The Freedom Program is a huge part of what makes Monty on the Run so beloved. It turned a simple platformer into a strategic, community-driven adventure. Absolutely brilliant design. Let's talk music, because Monty on the Run soundtrack is legendary. Composed by Rob Hubbard, the Beethoven of the Commodore 64, the main theme is a chiptune masterpiece. It's energetic, catchy, and complex, pushing the SID chip to its limits with wild programming tricks. The theme plays throughout the game, but you never get tired of it. It's frantic, upbeat, and drives you forward. Hubbard didn't use fancy software, he coded every note, creating a sound that was both technical and artistic genius. The Monty theme stands alone as a brilliant piece of music, even outside the game. The soundtrack elevated the entire experience. It wasn't just background noise, it was the game's heartbeat. The music set the tone, fueled your adrenaline, and made every moment memorable. It's so iconic, it's been remixed and covered for decades, and is a staple at retro gaming concerts. Rob Hubbard's work turned a great game into an unforgettable legend. If you remember one thing from Monty on the Run, it's that incredible soundtrack. Absolute legend status. What set Monty on the Run apart? Its wild variety and clever design. Each screen was a unique challenge. Ropes to climb, conveyor belts, disappearing platforms, and traps that could squash you flat. The game was packed with secrets and special items. Exploration was rewarded, making every playthrough feel fresh. The enemies were bizarre and memorable. Angry birds, bouncing drills, disembodied hands, and more. Each had unique movement patterns, turning every screen into a puzzle. Dodging hazards while timing jumps required real skill and focus. This mix of creative level design, varied mechanics, and quirky enemies made Monty on the Run a true standout. It was a platformer with depth, challenge, and endless surprises. In 1985, Monty on the Run was more than a game. It was an event. The graphics were colorful, the animation smooth, and the whole package felt premium. The challenge was legendary, brutally tough, but always fair. Every failure was a lesson, every victory a triumph. Clearing a tough screen felt like conquering Everest, and that sense of accomplishment kept us coming back. Rob Hubbard's music pulled you into Monty's world, making every moment feel urgent and exciting. The game's atmosphere was immersive, quirky visuals, frantic music, and a high-stakes escape plot. Monty on the Run was a social phenomenon too. The Freedom Program, hidden secrets, and rumors fueled endless playground debates. We traded tips, boasted about high scores, and worked together to crack the game's mysteries. In a pre-internet world, this word-of-mouth culture made Monty on the Run a shared adventure. It was a game you played, discussed, and lived with your friends. That's why we were glued to our screens, and why Monty became a legend. It was more than a solo quest. It was a community experience. 40 years later, does Monty still hold up? Absolutely. The tight controls, brilliant level design, and pure challenge are just as compelling now as ever. In a world of massive open-world games, Monty's focused, skill-based platforming is a breath of fresh air. The game's difficulty is a selling point. Modern gamers love a good challenge, and Monty delivers. Thanks to emulation, it's easier than ever to play, on PC, phone, or even modern consoles. Save states make it more accessible, but the core experience remains intact. The vibrant art and Rob Hubbard's soundtrack are pure retro magic. Monty on the Run is a piece of gaming history that's still a blast to play. It proves you don't need fancy graphics or complex stories, just great ideas and passion. Monty's adventure is timeless fun. So there you have it, Monty on the Run, a beacon of 8-bit brilliance. Innovative, challenging, and packed with personality, it's a masterclass in platformer design. Gremlin Graphics and Peter Harrop didn't just make a sequel, they created a legend. The game pushed hardware and players to their limits and redefined what a home computer game could be. If you've never played it, fire up an emulator and give it a go. You're in for a challenge and a ridiculously good time. For old school fans, it's time to revisit an old friend. The magic is still there. Monty on the Run is more than a classic. It's a foundation of the platforming genre. It's a must-play for anyone who loves games and wants to understand their roots. Thanks for joining me on this trip down memory lane. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to help a mole to catch a ferry. I'm the classic and retro gamer. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more retro gaming content. See you in the next video.